I can't really distinguish between, besides that there's a lot more variables in it, I can't really distinguish the decision of like me just like moving my foot and me being nice to you. You know what I mean? Like if I want to get somewhere, I walk there, you know? And that's just like, I just decide to walk and I walk, and it's a pretty simple thing. No one debates about it or anything. But then like morals, it's just kind of like, there's a lot more variables in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little harder to think through. But I think
Mm-hmm.
if you just think through it, it's just kind of like, it's just a long chain decision. You know, like being kind to everybody, like, just helps you out in life. Like the more kind of like, because it's kind of like, you kind of like keep like a little bit of a toll, I think, in your head of
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, this person's done this nice thing to me, and kind of like, you know, and I know that kind of makes it sound a little drab and dry.
No, I know what you mean.
But like, and then like, if you're just nice to others, they're going to be nice to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like usually people respond to you starting something, you know, like if you like start talking to someone, make a joke and like self-deprecate yourself, you know, you set this bar really low and people are just going to interact with you kind of like normal, you know. But if you come off in like, you start off with like being like kind of like all high and mighty, you know, and stuff like that, it's like you're going to have less interactions because you like started it that way.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's just like you kind of have like, from being like arrogant and all-knowing, like you just get worse outcomes than being like open and like nice and kind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
you just do, you know. But I don't think it's.
Yeah.
I don't see anything magical in that. Like I don't see any difference between that and me just making a decision to walk over there. You know what I mean?
And that's
Besides that, it's more complicated. It's a lot more complicated. But
well, and that's where our worldviews branch off. So like, because in this, I think I'd disagree in terms of like your decision to walk from one place to another, from one building to the next,
Mhm.
pretty much has no impact on anybody, whereas
Mhm.
loving your neighbor does have impact on somebody else.
Impact
And so in
on
that
others,
way,
yeah.
I think there is a difference. And I would also, I think I probably disagree when I think you said like, well, no, okay. So to back up that point that I just said, I would say to be kind to somebody might give you a good feeling, but it's not necessarily good for you in the sense of efficient. Like it's not the most, like that's not, I'm trying to figure out how to use, like, are you familiar with like utilitarian, that viewpoint? It's essentially what's efficient and what's best for all of us for the sake of efficiency. So like me stopping on the way home from work to give the homeless guy, buy the homeless guy dinner is not efficient. And it's not good
based on some criteria.
Based on in my own life.
Efficiency is all just defined by a criteria.
Sure, but it
like
yes, yeah, right.
What you're optimizing for, you know.
But if the
I think it's perfectly efficient if I'm optimizing for having a good life and having a bunch of positive connections with people.
Is it though? Because I could be home sooner and be enjoying my favorite show right now, but instead I'm missing 15 minutes of my favorite show because I'm hanging out with the homeless guy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
It
depends on what you set as your variables.
As your parameter, or your variables, And I would argue setting your variables as I want to be a good person by serving the homeless. I want to be a good person by loving my wife more than I love myself. I want to love other people before I love myself. There's no other reason to do that aside from attributing that value system that you have to a higher being. Because if you don't, then what's even causing you to live for anybody else?
So what do you mean by like living? So like, can you just re-say that again?
Sure,
one
I said
time?
it kind of messy.
Yeah.
I would say if you...
Because like I think I was tracking with you all the way to the end, and then you made the jump of like attributing it to a higher power.
Yeah,
so
I think whether yes, I see the confusion, because I did make that jump pretty quick. Whether or not you attribute it to God, I would argue that even subconsciously, you're probably attributing that lifestyle of living sacrificially to God, like without even admitting it. Like you're doing that because there is a creator that has given you what the Christians call the image of God. Is that the right word? The image of God? I think so. And that naturally causes you to know that it's good to buy the homeless guy dinner or...
But to a certain extent, because if you go full Jesus on everything, you're kind of just like a slave to being good, and there's no you to be had. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Yeah. So
and that's the Christian perspective. Like, and not to say that you can never have enjoyment.
But then it's also like it's not even like worth. Like if I was just like serving others all 100% of the time, there'd be like no reason really for me to even exist.
And that's where our worldviews differ, right? Because if Jesus really was the person that the Gospels claim he was, and if his message was reality, and that was kind of his message: love God, love others, carry your cross. Yeah. That is what human existence is supposed to be. It's not. You can have like entertainment and have like experiences that you find joy in, but that's not what life is about. It's about serving other people and about serving God.